can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walk through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Dr. Jeremy Weisz here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I interview top entrepreneurs and founders, and we're here at the Sage Summit with Brian Seidel. He is the founder of Website Pipeline. Brian, tell us a little bit about what Website Pipeline does.
We basically do all things related to customer activity management. So we have an e-commerce platform, customer self-service portals, a series of rep tools and APIs that all integrate with Sage's mid-market ERP products. We also integrate with other mid-market ERP products in addition to Sage.
So why did you start Website Pipeline?
We basically started it out of an idea. It kind of evolved from several different things. Myself and the two co-founders that I have with the business actually had an e-commerce company that we were running.
What kind of e-commerce company was it?
We were selling aftermarket cell phone accessories.
Okay, cool.
We had a customer that actually is a Sage ERP customer out of California that was doing all our drop ship fulfillment, so we were a pure play e-commerce company. We were using a cloud shopping cart. We needed to make customizations and couldn't, so we decided to build our own. And through a series of
so you're very technical?
Well, I got an engineering degree. I'm not the technical guy in the company. One of the co-founders.
Building a CRM is pretty difficult.
Yeah. So at the time, there was quite a few less choices when we did it. But one of my co-founders is a software developer, so he was involved in the technical side of getting that done. So
then tell me about the beginning stages of Website Pipeline.
It was the hours were long.
So were you running the e-commerce company at the time and then starting up, building this?
No, this was actually a side business. We started it on the side. The e-commerce company was always a side business. I had a full-time engineering job. When I was always an entrepreneur and was kind of hell-bent on getting something started, so I had several different things I was looking at and had known that for years. So when we started the company, what is Website Pipeline now, we went through a couple name changes.
What were the initial names? It was a good story. I know.
Dig there, didn't you? The first company was actually called eBiz for Idiots, and we kind of ripped that off of those the For Dummies books. Yeah. We were going to be an educational, kind of an online educational site for e-commerce.
I like to hear the evolution of this because it doesn't always, where it is now, it doesn't start like that. So
So we started out with that. We actually had a product which was a wizard to build e-commerce sites with that was called Website Pipeline, which eventually became our company name. And we started out, this was before software as a service or SaaS had a name for it. Everything we were doing was software and database driven sites.
So when was this? What year is this? Oh, wow. So you guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah, we have. So it took us 8 years basically of doing anything and everything in the software and database driven web application space. We have done all kinds of crazy sites, but to hone in and focus on one specific area, which is what we do now. So it's basically B2B e-commerce that's integrated with back end ERP systems.
So talk about some of your first customers for this particular Website Pipeline as it evolved into what it is now.
Yeah, so our early customers, one of them was the one that was actually the fulfillment company that was doing the back-end distribution and fulfillment for our cell phone accessories. They run Sage 100.
That's a big company to get as one of your first customers.
Yeah, so basically what we did with them was we came to them and said, hey, you've got 4,000 distributors. We build an e-commerce platform with your product. We want to we use the word franchise. We want to franchise the e-commerce platform and allow your distributors to actually buy an e-commerce product product in the box. You do the fulfillment. We'll host the application. They were fired up about it and wanted to promote it to their distributors. We later talked to lawyers that told us to stop using the word franchise because that's not what it was. But we effectively, without really knowing it, had created a software as a service play where we were providing the e-commerce platform that was feeding orders into their Sage 100 system, and they were helping us sell the e-commerce platform filled with their products in it. We called them syndicated websites for their customers. So that was kind of an early seed to what we do now.
So Brian, at this point you've had a lot of customers. Which is one of your favorite success stories of customers using your platform?
There's tons of success stories that we've got. One good example is a company that's here today. They're actually a Sage 500 user called Seawide Distribution. They're one of the largest distributors of marine electronics in the country.
Really?
So chances
marine
are,
electronics.
yeah,
What is that?
Like marine stereos, navigation systems,
Oh,
things
I
like
gotcha.
that.
Oh, wow.
So anything that would go into electronics on anything
Cool.
from small boats up to huge yachts.
Oh, that's really cool.
If you buy marine electronics, there's a pretty good chance that ultimately it's coming through them. So we put a B2B portal up for them that's integrated with their back-end system. They've gotten significant adoption from their customers, and it's changed the game for them, being able to perform all their customer-related activities better, faster, and cheaper. It's also helping them get more customers and keep and grow their existing ones. So one example, they have lots of customers that are .coms. That sell on sites like platform sites like Amazon or have their own e-commerce sites. So we implemented as part of the customer portal a way that they could download their orders a couple times a day. They might have 100, 150 orders and go upload them into the site. It'll actually do validation, pricing, charge the cards, and basically place bulk orders, feed them right into the ERP system. So that's been a very successful just piece of their overall platform, which has been quite successful.
Yeah. So Brian, who are your ideal customers? Who should be, no doubt, hands down, using Website Pipeline?
Yeah, so there's 4 criteria that we have that if customers fit into these 4 criteria, then we can solve lots of pain that they're highly likely to have. One is they're a product-centric company, so manufacturing or distribution typically. 2 is they're using one of Sage's mid-market ERPs or one of the Microsoft Dynamics ERPs. 3 is that they're a mid-sized company, so somewhere between 5 and 300 million in sales. And number 4 is they're North American based. So,
Brian, what has been your proudest moment with this company? It's been a long journey. You've been around since 2000. What's been one of the proudest business achievements?
Yeah, so I would say the proudest achievements have been what we've been able to do as a bootstrapped, privately held company. We've never taken investor money. We're debt-free. We're profitable. As soon as we honed in and dialed in on this business and decided what we wanted to do when we grew up, which was around 2008, we started getting experiencing significant growth from that focus. So Inc. magazine puts a list of the 5,000 fastest growing private companies. We've made that 6 consecutive years.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Deloitte puts together a list of the Technology Fast 500, they call it, which is the 500 fastest growing public and private companies. So the Googles, the Facebooks are all over that list. The overwhelming majority of them are venture-backed companies, and we were able to make it as a bootstrap company with all organic growth. So we're very proud of that. We made that list for the first time last year. Yeah.
What lesson should we leave people with, entrepreneurs running a company or starting a company, that you've learned from your entrepreneurial scars?
Yeah, so that's a great question. There's tons of lessons there. A couple key ones for sure. Work ethic is a must. You're going to have work ethic and dig in and put some hours in and be willing to grind through stuff. The other one is just have an attitude of always being a student. So there's a lot more stuff you don't know than you do know as an entrepreneur. Actually, you know almost nothing. So you've got to be willing to learn, and learning from people. I read books all the time. I listen to podcasts. Those are great sources. So if I'm in my car, I'm listening to a podcast and trying to glean information from other people that have been there before me. So
now you can listen to your own story on the podcast.
There you go.
People should check out websitepipeline.com from Sage. Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.